The game number 2 continues to be competitive regardless of what the final score is, and now we are heading on to our next battleground.
Towers of Doom. Ballistix, of course, using. BlossoM, after dropping one game, will get the first spin, first man, first pick. We haven't really seen Towers of Doom too much, have we? I think only once.
I think a lot of times this gets either banned or just kind of falls by the wayside since we haven't been going to all 5 battlegrounds. A lot of them just go unpicked pretty frequently.
And of course, Ballistix, after having Dragon Char game, I think they kind of felt, okay, even with the Haka, we won the macro fight. We lost the first keep, but we could come back because of the macro control. And that was due to lots of their shot calls, crisp shot calls with how they managed to control the vision on the map. I think that's what they are going to try again on this Towers of Doom. And I don't think we're going to see that crazy Valera, what was it? Valera.
Oh yeah, so
Abathur.
in case you're wondering
it was
what
DOD, right?
So I was watching HGC EU the other day, and on Towers of Doom, I want to say it was Granite Gaming, my new favorite EU team. They tried out this crazy comp versus Zealots, where it was Abathur, what was it?
Valera.
It was Abathur, Valera,
Nova?
No, not Nova. I'll look it up here in a second, but it was absolutely crazy. It was game 5 of that series if you guys want to look it up. But it was absolutely mental, so definitely go check that one out. I'll check it out here in a second. But either way, there are crazy comps you can go for. Probably not in game 2, although maybe this is where BlossoM want to pull something out a little bit crazy and catch Ballistix off guard.
Phoenix, the same start. With the same bans, but from the opposite teams. I think they can still stay with the Murid and Irel. Pretty good picks. Maybe looking for more utility heroes compared to Irel. Maybe the Haka of their own. They want to focus on global, along with Falstad, making sure you have double global. And limiting BlossoM's global as well.
Right. I mean, one thing you can do as Ballistix is kind of the same thing we saw from Genji, and that's just play as standard as you want, right? So go for something like either Blaze or Urel, or just lock down really solid picks right here. You can also grab things like Hanzo, very high priority. But instead going Karazim Dahaka. Okay, there's the global that you were talking about, G-Clef, but Karazim really highly prioritized.
There's also to get a sense and already pressuring in against could be a possible Tracer comp from BlossoM. You don't really see too many with the new roster, but can always happen with those blinks. Provide escape, also to engage. So against Tracer, Karazim is a very good counter, especially early game. Picking up that early and making sure they have the global as we took the Haka in game 1. The Haka in Towers of Doom basically means when there's a triple spawn, you at least get 1.
Right.
Unless everything goes wrong for your team, which is very, very rare.
Urel Sergeant Hammer here. I don't know. I'm a really big fan of the way that they did play Sergeant Hammer for BlossoM, but they don't want to give too much away. Bird and Urel still leaves the option open, so is that something that Ballistix is now worried about?
Maybe a little bit. Because with Irel peeling with Murid, they played their own in game 1. Not with their own Sergeant Hammer. They really want to ban Hammer. Is that what they're trying to draw out in the second ban? It seems like not a bad answer.
Could be what they've prepared. Either way, this is the last chance that Ballistix really get to limit their comp. Of course, after this ban phase, they go right back into it. But I don't know if they're that worried about it. For Ballistix and I guess any of our top teams, I feel like there's almost too much of an advantage that comes from just taking a step back and instead of trying to get deep into the mind games, just solid picks and play to your strengths without trying to do too much to counter out your opponents.
Okay, banning out Uther, going towards the support because there is a chance they will do Hammer. But
it is still a Hammer ban, by the way. Taking Uther out there.
Oh yes, that is true. But because they already have Karazim, I think they were concerned more about Uther saving one target. Maybe Ballistix, this hints a lot. They will go with the burst, bringing the mage in their hand. Maybe another false stat along with the mage.
Yeah. Anything to separate, get value from that 7-sided. So yeah, BlossoM want to counter that with their final ban. I guess I like that teams are taking their time to go through the pick and ban phase. I do like it when they're confident enough to just lock it in immediately. It certainly helps things go quickly, but we talked about, you know, maybe Hammer is the option, but Tracer would still be, I guess, one way they could go. Where's my Chromie? That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, Garrosh, man.
Another
Just
way.
limiting Hooligan.
Yeah.
So instead of what you have to guess, the DPS, there are lots of options still open for both teams. So they both went around the DPS bent support and Garrosh, but I don't think Garrosh was the most fitting one, and I think they're really considerate about the isolation that could happen. Along with Garrosh just tossing one, got CC'd, and with a 7-sided, that will be a guaranteed 1 kill.
I mean, maybe the Haka has all the isolation you need.
It does have the isolation for sure.
It doesn't quite work the same way though. So they do still need somebody to separate, whether that's Falstad. They won't have the Haymaker to do that this time. They didn't pick it quite that early. For something to get that knockback, get the isolation you need. What is it going to be? Last second.
First base.
Okay, I mean, what do you say? There's the Tracer that you were talking about. Not quite the team you were talking about picking it up.
Yeah. There was a very high chance.
Hey, there it is! The Sergeant Hammer coming through for BlossoM. Loved Modern on it in Game 1. We're going to see it back here on a very good team composition for it. What does Deckard add to this, though? I didn't necessarily expect to see that as the support choice.
He's wise, he's old, he's bald.
All right.
He adds into the team. And Uberak for the extra CC can also peel and make sure Deckard can't really save. Kind of like against Uther, just cocooning Uther, make sure there's no D-shield. Of course, not the same for Deckard, but stay a while and listen can actually trap everyone down and making sure they don't have that for the cocoon duration. I do like both of the draft. It's so intelligent what they have done.
Man, this is really high-level heroes, and for BlossoM to have stepped up their game this much, if they do wind up taking this series, surprisingly, I will be very, very impressed. Ballistix are on point today, but the games are very close. For HGC Korea, that's not a sentence we get to say all that often. So let's go ahead and get ready to get into our second game of the series. It's BlossoM versus Ballistix, like to the Battle of the Bees, for which team will take over that top 3 spot.
We're getting to get to study and learn about the battlegrounds every single time we have the intro. Props to VSO production here.
I swear this guy stays up late at night and he's like, what random artifact on
He goes
the map?
to custom all the time and looks
Can I
around the
zoom
map.
in on?
Next time this one.
Okay.
Next time this one.
He's got them all planned out. Some cool little map artifacts. The details never cease to amaze me.
Maybe the AFK? Okay, he's back. It's
Is
kind
this
of
my Hero League game?
it's okay. Level 1 fight not really going to happen without Merryday.
Yeah.
He's actually he's actually off to bottom lane with the Sergeant Hammer.
Yeah, going to mean that Hong Kong, I believe,
die.
is pretty dead there. And I mean, that's what you get when you don't fight 5v5, or at least play safer. Hong Kong, an early death, kind of uncharacteristic there, but Modern and Merryday had other things in mind, like getting an early push down bottom.
The moment they banned Uther, I think BlossoM should have realized that, okay, they're going for one burst team combo. What are they best at, other than Vala that's out of the meta? Tracer Taster, that has been always the one that Ballistix love to pick, and that's why I brought up the Tracer ban. I think after watching the second ban phase, it seems like both of the teams actually let them what they wanted to pick and play in this game. It says, pick whatever you want. Let's just play the best. We'll just win with the skills that we have.
Right.
And BlossoM gets Sergeant Hammer, Ballistix gets a Task Tracer.
Yeah, rather than trying to counter out their opponents and saying, hey, we'll both just get a chance to pick as strong a team comp as we possibly can. So you execute it better. And I actually really like that. In fact, so back in the day, in other MOBAs, you used to have the opportunity to go either blind pick or just have every option open. And I really like kind of that concept to say, look, just pick the strongest comps you can possibly come up with and see how they go against each other. And that's kind of what we have right here. But I think it'll really kick into high gear here in a few levels.
Everyday Deckard. Going to that Sapphire, maybe he will just go for all the gem talents. Has been a build that initially came up very early when Deckard first came out, but it is just going to be shielding. And of course, with the Sergeant Hammer, you do want to have some shields.
And you can see how much BlossoM really value Modern on that Sergeant Hammer. Giving him Merry Day to kind of babysit him during the early few levels. Not kind of letting him stay bottom by himself and be vulnerable to kind of the burst that is possible that can't come out. So, see how well that works out. I guess what's really kind of curious to me is going to see how Ballistix uses this global advantage that they have in that Dahaka up top lane that we're getting a chance to see right here. Just keep an eye on Modern. He is down. No way. Sickest escape. Boosting his way out of there and will stay alive.
Already failing to get a kill when they actually put a decent amount.
And now actually maybe giving a kill back over here. Jung should be able to heal up for that trait, but I don't know if he's going to commit too much. Hooligan walking
focusing on
forward.
the Gondar,
they
actually.
are going on to Gondar. He has no shield left, but Modern still might be their target. He is dropping very low, but boosts out again. What's the cooldown on that? Modern always seems to have it up. Magi getting out there as and Gondar still very low. Tracer going deep for it. Gondar warping out. Is he far enough away? No.
Push is not too close. He was trying to pick up the potion at the end. That didn't come too close, giving him the shield as well. So the shield actually works so well for Phoenix as well. So it's a great talent to actually pick for Deckard. Fits the team comp for BlossoM. And came a very good bait, but they can't really counter-attack as much. They don't really have too much burst pre-10 without the BFG and maybe even the Haymaker. As Ballistix, they're just looking for one kill. They can't really break through more than too well unless he's just out and exposed. Gets 7-sided too much.
Well, that's going to put Ballistix up one altar, so their bell towers fired an extra time, give them a tiny lead. I mean, obviously that's it's not going to matter for a few more turn-ins, but I mean, this is one of those inevitability battlegrounds, right? You don't have to kill your opponent's core, and there can be sort of a little bit of an anticlimactic finish where one team is just so far ahead on altars that it can just give them that macro advantage that wins them the game.
Let's see how they want to control this macro now. With the Sappers, they got the control, but this wall is open on the right. I believe it is not the same on to the left, the Ballistix side on the bottom lane. And the wave clear is pretty good with Tassadar Tracer, who can actually look for a kill as well. Karazim, that's like the assassin trio there.
Yeah, and it's worked well for Ballistix once. It's also failed a couple of times. So see if they can do it again. This time the target is a Modern. The chain
hammer.
CC. Insane. Ballistix really making their comp look good. Executing on exactly what it's designed to do. And I think we talked about earlier how that's going to be what decides this game, is which team can execute on the comp that they got. And right now
it's the hammer meta, boys. And that's what we get.
Meta.
Lots of CCs to control that hammer. Make sure she cannot escape and get that hammer blown up. We're going to have for the next few weeks at least.
The hammer meta. I love it. Well, here comes BlossoM to look to do it again, this time on SDE. He is pretty tanky right up there in the front, but I don't know if he's going to be too vulnerable. Ballistix, or BlossoM rather, get my B's mixed up here. BlossoM looking for a little bit of vengeance, but they aren't going to find it just yet. The Modern bodyguard force fails again.
That's why they picked up a Nubarak. make sure SCS can have the easy pulse bomb. And even with that armor from Sergeant Hammer, the plating is not enough to burst on one single target from 4 members, 5 members. That's gonna be a kill even if you have the armor. So with that kill, they control the rotation so well. With the wave clear as well, that has been the big problem for BlossoM somewhat.
Yeah, it means that they have to spend a lot of time in lane trying to clear, and if they don't, then the macro advantage continues to go in Ballistix' favor. One thing I associate with all the top teams in HGC Korea, and I guess in other regions around the world, is having that macro advantage over teams that don't have that experience. I would still kind of give that edge to Ballistix, but they seem to be a little bit more aggressive here. Now looking to get another big catch, this time on a Hong Kono, but he's able to toss himself back to safety and stay alive even against the comp designed to blow him up.
Just the right amount of heal from Merryday, and he was going to survive because it was pre-10. He doesn't have Avatar. Let's try. We do have 7-sided and actually landed all of them onto Moradin. But it's a Moradin though, not a Sergeant Hammer. It did survive from the gank attempt, and even Ballistix, they didn't really use too much. Only a pulse bomb with the 7-sided, which will be back in 15. They're actually doing boss.
Wait, what? Hello? Please respond. No one going top and Ballistix get it for free. What? I mean, I said they were better at macro, but I didn't think they were this good. Okay, wow, that's a big turn and gives them consistent advantage. And now, right as BlossoM tied it up at 28 apiece, Ballistix are going to maintain.
That is a trade, but they actually lost more because they're not really getting the push value on top. They have to make some kills happen here. False force wall, trapping down.
Nice.
Honor gets blown up, and that's only one though. They're trying to turn around with Salvo. Not enough damage to get the kills. Still 5 members. Live and SC going for the chase. Focusing on to Gondar. Does miss some CC, so he will escape. Stay a while, listen. Gets traps 3. It's a great delaying tactic there by Deckard.
Yeah, they're actually beautiful. And that's, I guess, one of the biggest reasons to include Deckard here. If there is just this all-in from Ballistix, Stay a While and Listen stops that in its tracks. And it does allow the rest of BlossoM to escape, but it was a little bit too late. At that point, Sergeant Hammer had already gotten blown up.
So it was kind of a weird shot call by Ballistix to actually just trade 4 shots. But with that kill, I think that's about the same trade. They did lose the wall, and they will be pressured because of that, but they can actually have better gank attempts because of that here. Coming in again.
Mara pretty far forward, separated by the wall. Still pretty alive. Tanky zooming back to the back and trying to keep some distance there. Gondar eats the pulse bomb, and now he's down to half HP with no shield. He's going to try to get back into this, but how long can BlossoM's tank line stay alive?
Deckard is the target, has been cocooned for such a long time. Couldn't really get them through down. Gondar will go down as well. Could not eat the pulse bomb with the warp initially. They're onto the chase force wall. Wiz getting the damage with the shield, and I don't think he's going to survive for such a long time.
Yeah, ult forced out. Good reaction there by Ballistix. They drop their damage while the ult's on, and as soon as it fades away, that is one dead Jurel. Pretty irrelevant in that fight.
Another pulse wall. They try it, but nice escape by Modern. Meantime, they got one more altar. Got the shots straight to the core. 28 to 20. But the levels are starting to gap apart because all those gank attempts are successfully being done every single time by Ballistix. BlossoM, they're trying to respond, but against the cocoon and how they make their escape is pretty hard. And that starts with the force wall.
It does. That was what started the fight and really put everything from there on out in Ballistix' favor. They're going to go right back in again. Nice cocoon to land. It's going to keep Deckard out of the fight for a long time. They're 7-sided, not able to get the kill, but it leads to it in the end. Stay a While and Listen does not actually finish the story. It's not going to be a good bedtime for BlossoM here tonight. They will get put down as Ballistix take another fight.
And SC continues. Salvo will finish off SC, but that's a trading kill for a team wipe.
Wow, okay, well, not much more to say about that. I mean, we could shot call that maybe a few different ways, but in the end, the result's the same. Ballistix keep crushing. And after what looked like a very close game 1, game 2, not so much.
There was a choke point, and the moment they Hooligans and Ubarak making sure the cocoon is right on Deckard. And the rest of the members can't get healed, can't get shields from the potion. And in that choke point, it's easier to land on the CC, land those pulse bombs, easier to focus. And when Deckard is in the cocoon, Erel came to save him, but Erel was caught with the 7-sided with all those shots. And with the level difference, there was some damage gap also. BlossoM, it seemed like they were having a pretty nice draft in this game, but that Uther ban, making sure the cocoon goes in all the time right now. Ballistix, I think they have won with the second ban. Well, of course, the game's not over, but so far they're leading so hard into this game.
Absolutely are. 10 up as far as, I guess, bell tower shots are concerned. Wow, what a way to start things off. What is happening here? SCSC almost getting blown up, but the recall is good. 7-sided comes out, but it's not enough to find a kill. You also just traded out there, but in the end, BlossoM stay alive, and already that's an improvement over the last couple of fights.
It's a big trouble. They don't have a global. They're getting on push. They lost the bell tower already. And when they're trying to get the bell tower back, the other one's going to be destroyed. This may just continue over and over again, and we'll go down and match with 5-3, but 2 more altars for Ballistix, which means that's going to be a game. Because BlossoM only has 10 core HP.
Yeah, and the boss also
trying to set up a kill as Hooligan was tossed really with the haymaker, but still survives.
Yeah, wall comes out, separates Honkono, but of course he's not the target the Ballistix want to focus.
Oh, look at that. Kerazim already started the boss. They want to finish this quickly.
Absolutely.
BlossoM still needs so much time to bring down the bell towers. They have no idea, or even if they have an idea, they can't really go here.
Same thing as the first time they took the boss, right? Ballistix has always been able to just completely take charge of that. And, you know, even though I think that is, yeah, only 4 shots, so it's not like they'll be able to get just 2 turns to win. It still puts BlossoM basically on match point, or on you know, bell tower point. I don't know if there's like some terminology I'm missing there, but essentially they're
game over.
Yeah, game over is almost here for them. BlossoM have to now take almost 25 in a row.
So this is possibly the last chance for BlossoM.
Very possibly. We're gonna try for a turn in there for an altar
channeling. That's gonna be 4 shots.
And indeed it will, so that'll be only 2 shots remaining for BlossoM on their core. We're gonna have to do or die right now.
For BlossoM, they have to. Ballistix, they don't have to. That's the thing. They can just harass and keep the bell tower lead because they got the sappers in, and I think they got the bottom one destroyed just now. That's the global lead that they have with this team comp, just utilizing it perfectly. BlossoM, they are caught in the trap of the massive global.
Dragon into Honkono, it's pretty much where he wants to be, right up close in the front. SC goes deep, but he doesn't get taken out. Modern very low, but he stays alive. A beautiful stay a while, and listen, gives Modern enough time to back out. The salvo, what on earth? That's so much damage, and it's 2 dead instantly. BlossoM turn a huge fight, and they're looking for more. Phoenix is a minor casualty. Can they keep going, though? Honkono
yes,
up
they
in the
can.
front.
With the Tassadar shield, Tracer can keep on going. They do lose the 3 shots. Now, still a good trade. I would say it's still a good trade for Ballistix because they got the bell tower. They lost more members, but still, they're getting the macro started once again. And 2 shots can happen anytime soon. They're gonna get their 20 very soon as well. So BlossoM, even if they got 2 kills, they could have done a little bit more in that fight, or they should have done a little bit more. And they were desperate to actually not lose at that moment.
Yeah, this is going to be a little bit like you remember in the Matrix when Switch dies, the not like this moment. Like that is that's what this is going to look like. All of a sudden, BlossoM's about to get unplugged.
Smith? From Matrix? Yes.
Switch.
I
think I have the right name there. You gotta go
follow.
back and watch that movie, G-Clef.
I can't follow up with all the movies. 20s hit, rewind for Hooligan, even more CCs. That's it. Isolation onto Deckard. Focus fire is there. Deckard is gone. Everything is not really. Oh, those survive with the potion as leash.
Nice cocoon there on the Phoenix, keeping the DPS out of this fight. Merida able to back off and stay alive there. BlossoM doing a good job backing out even through that wall. Hooligan with a re-engage there, trying to deal damage on Kotal. Phoenix getting blown up, and Modern, even though he's still alive, he just can't do enough damage to stop Ballistix from getting in there and assassinating BlossoM's DPS.
Oh, gets the long tongue grab, and that's gonna be 2 kills.
Okay.
Even more, this game's over though. Just coming in 10 seconds. They don't even have enough members, and they want to blow up some more as Karajim is already marching towards the victory here as they're just ripping apart the members of BlossoM right now.
Yeah, Magi getting the last cap there on that altar, which will fire, excuse me, let me try that again, which will fire the final shot there. Ballistix take a decisive game and number 2 win over BlossoM.
Talked to lots of Korean commentators, and especially O Prime does say that a lot, and I do believe in the same thing. Depending on the second ban pick, we can see how good the team is, how much study that the team actually has done against the team that you're going against. For BlossoM, I don't think that Garrosh ban was too effective. There was lots of ideas, hints that Tracer Taster was going to come out. And even against the Global, they suffered a lot in this Tower of Doom, which we could see. I think they had lots of promising moments with the Sergeant Hammer. It seems like there was practice, but in this meta, with this new roster, I think still experience is what they need from BlossoM.
And just a better execution on the team composition. Honestly, we talked about how over the course of the draft phase, both teams really got the picks that they were looking for, right? As far as what they're trying to accomplish. Their comps were solid, but it's just better execution by Ballistix. They failed at getting a few of the early kills, but then from then on out, it was just assassination after assassination. The blow-ups were big, they were bold, they were beautiful, and the superior B does seem to be Ballistix.
Yep, Ballistix taking 2-0, which I originally thought BlossoM might actually bring us to a full series. It is still possible, but compared to Game 1, I think Modern had less of a better... I would say just worse Sergeant Hammer play. Not really keep putting that unstoppable. He was actually getting caught with lots of Anubarak plays, just diving in. It seemed like he was coming in anytime soon because you intentionally opened the wall, so they go with the siege mode towards the fort. But once you're out there, you're pretty likely to be ganked by that Anubarak, continuing with all the tracer bombs and stuff.
I mean, a lot of what makes our top teams so superior is that they have so much experience. They're used to these high pressure situations. And in games like game number 2, there was so much pressure on Modern. So many tools just designed to specifically just make him have a really bad day. And sometimes you crumble under that pressure. Like you said, not avoiding a lot of the CC coming his way. Sometimes it's inevitable, but there were a lot of times where he did get kind of caught out, whether it was by a Nubarak or walls coming his way. He did die in crucial moments, and just superior play overall. We can't really criticize BlossoM too much because at the end of the day, Ballistix just played impeccably.
Yeah, and Decker was not saying Decker was a bad pick. Second to the best, Uther was the best, which was banned out. Great ban pick done by Ballistix. D-Shield, you can save one target only, and that sometimes becomes a weakness, but if you can save Sergeant Hammer, that is the perfect choice. Even against the Cocoon, you can D-Shield yourself sometimes. We do see that from lots of Uthers, giving a lot more shield to Sergeant Hammer, which means against Pulse Bomb, you can actually survive so much more. So we'll continue this talk after a short commercial break, but we'll continue to talk about Matrix during the commercial break too. So we'll see you very soon.
지금 굿 바텀 지역에서 쐈는데 야 이건 정확하게 5시 반에 쐈어요. 네 5시 반에 지금